magsasara na raw yung Pegasus, yung mga
Wow, ayan na nga.
Malungkot ka ba? Malungkot
hindi pa ako,
ka?
hindi, I've never been in there. I've never been in those,
I know.
Air Force One, yung mga ganun, magsasara na raw. So pati yun.
Ed,
Natatakot
alam ko good boy ka, Ed. Alam ko yan. Actually hindi ka good boy. Takusa ka.
Pero yung construction, hindi pa yun yung intro mo kanina
Segue tayo sa construction eh. Patay na punta dyan.
Mukhang hindi matitigil. Saka nag-umpisa na traffic build-up because of the
kanina, I don't know why, kanina, so super traffic kanina. I mean, it was an unusual bad traffic day today. I don't know why. I'm not sure if it was the rain or anything else.
Holiday sa Friday. Holiday sa Friday. So I think people are rushing to do whatever they need to do while offices are open. I think
so you mean we're back to yung mga the big rush before the long weekends? We're back to that already now.
Kung ano kailangan mo mag-withdraw, kailangan mo kung ano man yan, 'di ba? Kailangan mo nang bumili ng whatever kasi sweldo pati, 'di ba?
Oo nga pala, no?
Instruction
Yeah.
So
kaya
talagang things
siguro natin about construction, no?
Yeah.
Yeah. Joining us tonight is DPWH's Build Committee Chairperson, Ana May Lamentillo. Ma'am, good evening and welcome to the Chiefs.
Magandang hapon, gabi po.
Well, it doesn't matter po. It doesn't matter. We're seen all over the world, di ba?
Yeah.
Ma'am, let me start off with this kasi we understand that at least as of I think it was May, yung DPWH suffered the biggest cut for the benefit of the COVID-19 relief efforts. I think 122 billion was sliced off your budget for 2020. At the same time, si ASEC Goddess Hope Libiran ng DOTR earlier also said na mga 35 transportation projects worth 15 billion were parang freed up, kumbaga tinapyas o pinagpaliban muna to give way for relief efforts. So give us an idea first. You are head of DBB. What projects have been put on the sideline? What projects are being delayed because of COVID-19?
Well, as far as big ticket projects are concerned po, tuloy-tuloy po tayo as far as DPWH is concerned. Meron po tayong mga reprioritized, pero po yung mga big ticket projects po natin under the BBB, tuloy-tuloy po yung ating paggawa. In fact po, yung NLEX Harbor Link, nagkaroon po the first drive-through inspection today, so we were able to resume construction noong May 17. We applied for an exemption because we consider this as one of the priority projects. And as of today, it's about 96%. So tinatapos na po namin yung asphalting and yung mga safety works. And then hopefully by June 15 po, we're confident na magagamit na po yan ng ating mga motorista.
Well, just to remind people, ma'am, kasi medyo matagal-tagal na since we talked about this dahil na nag-COVID lockdown tayo. Itong NLEX Harbor Link is the one that links NLEX to the port area.
Ang maganda po dyan sa NLEX Harbor Link, ginawa po yan ni Secretary Villar as part of the EDSA Decongestion Master Plan. So ito pong Harbor Link is one of the main projects that will be under the EDSA Decongestion Master Plan. Ang maganda po dito, the NLEX Harbor Link connects Malabon, Valenzuela, Caloocan, Manila, and Quezon City. So kung dati po aabutin ka ng 2 oras to traverse Quezon City and Manila, with this project po, 15 to 20 minutes na lang. Kanina po, sinubukan po yan ng mga media, mga kasamahan po natin sa media, and when they tried it, may isa po 8 minutes lang yung kanilang travel time. Meron po na isa 13 minutes. So may kita niyo po na malaki po yung magiging epekto nito. Ang maganda po ito, it's also functions as a diversion road. We will divert about 50,000 vehicles away from EDSA, C5 and other main thoroughfares, mostly trucks. So 70% po ng trucks natin ang expected po nagagamit nito because this is the first truck graded expressway. So kung dati po meron po tayong truck ban, kumbaga nalilimit yung trade natin with the number of window hours. Ngayon po, with the NLEX Harbor Link, 24/7 po pwede pong dumaan dito yung mga trucks natin.
Wow.
Okay.
Ang,
Okay.
Eh, yun
Pero
ang
ma'am, maliban doon, ano po?
nakaka-traffic no? Yung
Mm.
trucks. Yeah.
ang maganda din po dito, sir, we made it part of a master plan. So ang mangyayari po nito, this will be connected sa Caloocan Interchange. This will be connected to Skyway Stage 3. This will be connected to NLEX SLEX connector, which we will all finish by 2022. So kung makikita niyo po ngayon, almost all our big ticket infrastructure projects are interconnected, which was never seen or done before, because parang they function as individual and as isolated infrastructure projects. But for this administration, pinaghalo po natin yan. In fact, yung Binondo Intramuros Bridge, kung makikita niyo po, kitang-kita niyo na po siya doon po sa Pasig River. So malapit na po silang magtugtong.
Okay. I remember last year, si Secretary Villar, he was saying na panoorin nyo because next year, meaning this year, sunod-sunod ang inauguration ng mga highway, no? At saka yun nga, yung mga projects. So, of course, because of COVID, hindi nga nangyari yun. But what kind of inauguration picture can we expect moving forward?
Kami po tuloy-tuloy pa rin po yung trabaho namin. We release po a different set of construction safety guidelines. So it's gonna be part of a new normal. So
So, ano yun?
ang
ma-inaugurate?
yung mga inaugurate,
Yes, yes.
Una po yung Remedios Bridge po natin, kasama din po yan dun sa in-apply natin for exemption, and we expect to finish it by this month.
Saan yun, yung Remedios Bridge?
In Manila.
Manila. Yes.
Opo.
Okay.
Ito po yung may kita nyo po, malapit po siya doon sa Rojas Boulevard area.
Okay.
Yung Skyway Stage 3 project po natin, tuloy-tuloy po yan. We expect to finish it within the year. Ang ginagawa po namin, si Secretary Villar made it sure na 24/7 po yung construction natin. So ngayon, we employed more construction workers and then 3 shifts na po sila. So para po mahabol natin, katulad po nitong NLEX Harbor Link, we utilize about 2,000 construction workers.
Wow. Okay.
3 shifts po, and tuloy-tuloy po yung trabaho. Kung kaya't nakita nyo po, kahit na nung before, even for the construction facilities, for the quarantine facilities, ang ginawa po dyan is 24/7 din po yung construction schedule, pero po different shifts of construction workers.
Okay.
So, nagsasalitan po sila. Meron na rin po tayong off-site and on-site construction na ginamit din po natin for Harbor Link. So, kumbaga, yung mga fabrication na pwede po natin gamitin, hindi sa loob ng construction area, pwede po natin gawin in a designated fabrication site, then doon po natin siya ginagawa, ma'am.
Okay.
Ms. Lamentillo, merong mga projects, sabi niyo, may mga projects na tinigil or delayed, pero nag-ano ba rin kayo? Nag-redirect din kayo ng resources niyo? Kasi sabi sa amin nun ni Secretary Vince Dizon, magpa-prioritize din kayo ng infrastructure for health, for digital technology. Sa bagay, hindi sa inyo yan, ano? Pero yung sa health facilities, meron ba kayong doon? Meron ba kayong involvement sa mga ganon na nag-redirect ba kayo ng resources ng DPWH din?
Ngayon ma'am, ongoing naman po yung meeting about the infrastructure flagship project. So siguro po I will leave it best to the infrastructure cabinet secretaries to announce which projects will proceed and continue. But what I can assure you is tuloy na po yung construction natin for NLEX Harbor Link. Nagtuloy na po yung construction natin for NLEX SLEX connector. Tuloy po tayo sa Cavite Laguna Expressway. Skyway Stage 3, Plaridel Bypass, Central Luzon Link Expressway, Remedios Bridge. Yun po yung ilan lang doon sa ating mga big ticket projects na tinatrabaho na po natin ngayon because these are low-hanging fruits. Ibig pong sabihin, within the next few months,
Matatapos na rin naman. Yes.
finish.
Oo.
Yes.
To finish. And for example po, yung Skyway Stage 3, pag natapos po natin yan within the year, we expect to divert about 70,000 to 100,000 vehicles away from EDSA and C5. And katulad nga po nung lagi namin sinasabi, we are already losing a lot of money because of traffic congestion dito po sa Metro Manila. So we feel that by investing in infrastructure, we're going to improve yung ating overall way of doing business po.
Well,
Okay.
nabanggit niyo po yung traffic. Kasi napag-uusapan namin kanina nila Ed, sobra-sobrang ang traffic ngayon. There are so many ongoing projects, mukhang road repairs, kung ano-ano ngayon, all over Metro Manila. Matatapos kaya yung karamihan dyan by August 24, for example? Kasi yun yung target date ng school opening. Kahit blended learning yon, saka karamihan nasa bahay pa rin. We're still expecting more people on the street. Matatapos ba karamihan doon?
Yes, ma'am. In fact, yung mga road reblocking po natin, ginagawa na po yan, lalo na nung MECQ. We took advantage of the time na nakasarado po yung Metro Manila to do yung mga repairs at maintenance works natin in major thoroughfares like Araneta Avenue, EDSA, C5. Kaya kung mapapansin nyo po, even along Ross Boulevard, marami pong mga road reblocking projects. So, we really took advantage, lalo na po yung mga projects na matindi po yung effect sa traffic. So, makakaasa po kayo na one of the government strategy in order to revive the economy is to restart and accelerate the Build program because it becomes an avenue also for overseas Filipino workers to find a job and employment dito po sa ating bansa. Kasi marami po
Aside from these projects being low-hanging, no, what were the other bases for determining the reprioritization of projects?
Again, ma'am, siguro po ang it's an interagency effort. Ang tamang tao po siguro na magpaliwanag would be NEDA in the Department of Finance as to the standards. I do not want to preempt the discussion made at the cabinet level. I think they will lay out the standards po para dyan. But offhand, overall impact po. In fact, bago po namin piliin at sabihin na ito ay infrastructure flagship projects, tinitingnan po natin yung impact niya doon sa overall economy. At ang ating minimum rate, at least for dun sa economic rate of return, is at least 15% for our big ticket projects. So, expect na ito po yung benchmark namin pre-COVID, but I will leave it up to the cabinet secretaries to discuss kung ano po yung metrics na sinusundan po.
Ma'am,
What
pero
about projects outside of Metro Manila? Meron bang mga na-prioritize doon?
Oo naman po. In fact,
ano yun?
Boracay Circumferential Road Project po, malapit na rin po yan matapos. In fact, in the next few months, we expect the Boracay Circumferential Project to be completed. Yung Plaridel Bypass nga po, that's in Bulacan, so nagtuloy na rin po yan. The Central Luzon Link Expressway, which is in Central Luzon. TPLEX po, which is hanggang po sa Rubio po, and we're extending it to La Union.
Right.
Marami po tayong flood control projects na tuloy-tuloy pa rin pong ginagawa. Nandyan po yung Cagayan de Oro Coastal Road, Davao Coastal Road. Yun po. So marami po tayong mga projects, ma'am, na ginagawa po ngayon. What we can assure you is that every province has a big ticket project. In fact po yung evacuation center, which is ngayon lang po natin ginawa, are also converted into quarantine facilities already. So kung kunwari may COVID COVID-19 situation po sa probinsya, at least meron po silang standardized evacuation center na mapupuntahan po.
All right.
Mhm. Ma'am, when DOTR ASEC Gales Oliveran spoke about 35 transportation projects possibly being sidelined because of the relief efforts, she mentioned kasi rails, airports, ports, and roads. But again, I'm not sure exactly whether or not you're free to talk about these things. If these are still part of BBB, or if you would prefer to have these discussed by other cabinet members. Pero could you give us an idea kahit paano what these are, or at least what kind of projects had to be put aside for the moment to give way to COVID-19?
The difference po kasi between DPWH and DOTR, kami po, we have thousands of projects that are simultaneously ongoing. So pre-COVID, we had about 20,000 projects being implemented since 2016. So
Mhm.
I think it would be best to just give an overview, and I think it would be best discussed po by the cabinet secretaries. I do not want to preempt the issuance of the infra flagship projects na ilalabas po nila, which will include yung mga healthcare related projects, because these are interagency na dati po it's not under DPWH.
Okay.
Sige, you earlier mentioned the DPWH projects absorbing returning OFWs. Naumpisahan niyo na ho ba ito? Have you started employing returning OFWs? And how many kaya ang kayang i-absorb ng mga ongoing projects?
Ang ina-expect po nating ma-generate, we made a computation, about 1.5 million construction workers.
Wow, that's
That's a lot.
yes.
The Build program is expected, according to Secretary Villar, to generate at least 1.5 million jobs for this year. So that's assuming po, this would include yung mga short-term projects po natin that will only last 2 to 4 months. But we feel that yung construction industry po kasi natin has a biggest multiplier effect, especially since if you check yung profile po ng ating mga OFWs, marami po sa kanila yung construction workers. And
Pero nag-umpisa na? You've started hiring, or have you started receiving applications, job applications?
yes, ma'am. In fact, yung, di ba, even before every Labor Day celebration, meron po tayong jobs.
Yeah.
So, tuloy-tuloy naman po yung ating coordination po doon. In fact, di ba, nagkaroon po tayo dati ng problema that we didn't have enough construction workers in the Philippines, and marami po dun sa mga construction workers natin voluntarily went back to the Philippines to serve the country. And I think this is the reason why a lot of our build projects are successful. Marami po tayong mga skilled construction worker, and we're very thankful that they opted to serve the country and to undertake ito pong mga BBB projects natin dito. So game-changing projects which have never been done before.
What about other projects that are also huge and vital, like, for example, dams, irrigation projects, lalo na yung Kaliwa Dam, no? Although controversial siya. But we need to address the lack of water supply coming from Angat, for example. How is the DPWH viewing that?
Ma'am, the problem is it's not under our jurisdiction. So I think it's NIA and MSS doing the Kaliwa Dam and yung other irrigation projects po natin. So yun po, we're doing yung ating mga elevated expressways, we're doing the bridges. Ngayon po, tatlo yung ginagawa natin across Pasig River, Marikina River, and Manggahan Floodway. Ito po yung Binondo Intramuros, Estrella Pantaleon Bridge, pati po yung BGC Ortigas Link Bridge. Yung BGC Ortigas Link Bridge po is over 50% na rin po yung accomplishment rate. Pag natapos po natin yan, yung distance po between BGC to Ortigas, kung dati po 1 hour, ngayon 5 minutes na lang. So we're
Yeah.
very excited about this infrastructure projects.
Kailan yan? Kailan?
When,
Kailan namin maasahan na, wow, 5 minutes na lang.
2021 po siguro.
Wow, that's
after,
Next year.
yes, sir.
So,
Yes,
Wow.
in fact, I can send a picture po later kahit after the show para makita nyo po kung gaano po kabilis yung ating infrastructure project. So, tuloy-tuloy naman po yun.
Ano yung flyover from BGC to Ortigas? How does that go? It's basically a flyover from BGC to Ortigas.
Yes, it's one of the bridge. Ang tawag naman po dun sa master plan na yun, it's Metro Manila Logistics Infrastructure Network, but it is also subsumed under the EDSA Decongestion Master Plan. So pagka natapos po natin to, we expect every city in Metro Manila to be within 15 to 20-minute distance pag natapos po natin itong EDSA decongestion. And we're gearing that all the projects under the EDSA decongestion master plan will be completed po by 2022.
What about the subway?
Papuntang TV5,
Subway trains. Tuloy ba yun? Ha? What about the subway train? Yung subway. Kasi di ba, parang that's the one that's really new for most Filipinos, no?
Yeah,
Parang,
but
tuloy ba yun?
I think it's tuloy po yun. But the details po, I leave it to the OTR kasi it's not our project, baka sabihin
Okay.
How yung bicycle lane? Because there are so many people now using bicycles. Are you reprioritizing? Are you setting up more bicycle lanes? Kasi nagawa na kayo niyan in other cities eh.
Oo nga, ma'am. In fact, in 2016, as early pag-upo po natin, Secretary Villar made the first national highway with segregated bicycle.
Yeah.
It's in Laguna Lake Highway.
Yeah.
And we've expanded it. So yung Pasig Marikina Flood Control Project po natin, it will also have bicycle lanes. If you've visited Boracay po, we made sure that there is pedestrian infrastructure and bicycle lanes po sa gilid. Kung
So
pupunta
lahat ng project kaya ngayon, lahat ng project you will be designing bicycle lanes sa major thoroughfares. Gano'n na ba yan?
yung mga for construction pa, ma'am, we are planning. Si Secmark naman basta kaya ng right of way, talagang pinopondohan po namin yan because we feel that we need to build more pedestrian infrastructure. Nagkaroon nga po ng pag-aaral before at ang sinasabi niya is that 35% of our travel sa Manila is actually walkable or bicycleable. So parang pwede mo siyang i-bike, pwede mo siyang lakarin, kaso ang hindi ginagawa dahil nga po hindi conducive for walking and hindi conducive for biking. So, yun po, tuloy-tuloy lang po yung paggawa nito. We're working with NGOs and civil society. Ang plano po ngayon is to install pop-up bicycle lanes doon po sa hospital routes. Yun po.
Yes,
And, an interagency task force has already been formed specific to that matter para po pag-aralan because ayaw naman natin to roll out a policy nang hindi siya na pag-aaralan kasi yung safety ng mga bikers natin is also a primordial concern.
Yeah.
All right.
Okay. Sige ma'am, we will verify your pedestrian infrastructure in Boracay in the interest of journalism.
Ako hindi Ortigas gusto.
In the interest of journalism, we shall do that.
Send po yung photos for Boracay and BGC.
Okay, maraming salamat po. Si DPWH Build Committee Chairperson Ana May Lamentillo. Ma'am, thank you for joining us tonight.
Salamat po.
Thank you.
We will just pause for a break, so please stay with us.
Talaga hat na hat ka nang pumuntang Welcome back to this special episode of The Chiefs. We are now in the final stage of our conversation and we'd like to welcome Interior and Local Government Undersecretary R.J. Echeverry. Good evening po. Good evening, Yusek.
Good evening and more power to your program.
Thank you. We're with Lucy Cruz Valdez of TV5
Hi,
and
sir.
Lingao.
Hi, sir.
Yes, good evening, Lucy. Good evening.
Okay. Siguro, Yusek, we start with siyempre, COVID pa rin, ano? The general situation, kumusta po ang compliance with the various degrees of community quarantines? Kasi yung ibang lugar nagrereklamo na ngayon lang daw nagdadatingan daw kung saan-saan yung mga tao nila, mga residente nila eh. Bigla daw sila nagkakaroon ng cases. What's the situation now?
Well, at this point in time, since a majority of our area are under GCQ, unti-unti na ho nakakauwi, no, yung mga residente natin, yung LSI, no, yung locally stranded individual, to the provinces, no. But before going to the provinces, they have to follow certain requirements, like there's supposed to be no symptoms whatsoever of COVID, and they have undergone testing and quarantine for 14 days. We also allow LGUs at their discretion to test incoming residents for possible COVID symptoms. No? If found that they are positive, they have to undergo testing again and quarantine in an area specified by the LGU. So to answer your question, tama po kayo, unti-unti hong nakakauwi na yung mga locally stranded individuals natin dahil nasa general community quarantine na tayo. Ang medyo nahihirapan lang tayo, yung mga individual na lilipad. Ibig sabihin, pauwi ng mga probinsyang nasa bandang Visayas at Mindanao. Dahil hindi pa yata pinapayagan ng ibang airlines na magbukas. Dahil pinag-uusapan pa, no? We leave the discretion to the LGUs if they will allow passengers from an airport of, let's say, in NCR to arrive in a destination of their province. So tama po kayo na may ganyang sitwasyon na pailan-ilan na dati wala, pagdating doon meron na. So konting ingat na lang po ang ginagawa ngayon ng mga governors dahil pinagmamalaki nila yan sa mga residente nila na mababa ang kanilang COVID cases. Tapos pag nag-uwian na yung mga kababayan nila, doon lang nagkakaroon ng cases ng COVID. That's why we are pushing for isolation. Minomonitor ko rin po, nakadesignate po sa akin yung pagmamonitor ng isolation hospital or isolation area and quarantine area for LGUs, no, to monitor kung they are observing, setting up, or finding a place for an isolation in their respective provinces.
Mm-hmm. But sir, Yusek, what do we make of this? Well, there are some LGUs that are complaining na parang hindi dumaan sa tamang protocol yung pagtetest ng mga hatid probinsya, balik probinsya na locally stranded individuals. Kasi yung iba sa kanila nagtetest na positive after arrival. For example, I think it was Mayor Gandarma ng Marawi who said na he has several who returned to his city kaya biglang nagkaroon ng COVID positive sa city niya because may ilang I don't know if it's balik probinsya sabi niya. Hatid probinsya program.
Ormoc.
Si Ormoc Mayor Richard Gomez. I'm sure you have heard about these complaints. What do we make of these complaints?
We keep on advising our LGUs to side over caution, on caution. Meaning, hindi talaga maiiwasan na kahit na dumaan na sila sa masusing quarantine for 14 days and at the same time, na swab test na, may posibilidad ba na after being negative, getting a negative test, is there a possibility na kapag dumating sila sa probinsya, maging positive? Yes. Maraming pwede kasi mangyari na along the way, may nadaanan, may positive na nakausap, na infected. That's why we allow our LGUs in the provinces to also observe strict protocol on receiving LSI, no? Yung mga returnees na makababayan nila. They could always ask them to undergo testing for caution. And at the same time, if found that, they still have, they found out na negative sila, they really have to follow protocol of being quarantined. So, to be honest, that's really an issue and a problem na kahit na sinong LGU will really have to, hindi naman kasi, wala namang ho kasi magagawa kahit naman i-quarantine mo natin for 14 days, kahit isang buwan na nga dito, negative na dito, pagdating doon, positive. Sino may kasalanan, dumaan naman lahat sila sa protocol. It's just really like that because COVID is everywhere. So you really have to be very cautious about it. May kasalanan ba ang DOH? May kasalanan bang ang DILG for allowing them to return? Kung dumaan naman sila OWA, kung dumaan naman sila sa protocol, tapos pagdating doon positive, siguro hindi naman. And if you will try to check on the records, hindi naman marami yon. Probably there a handful.
Sir, do you find na nahihirapan din yung mga LGU dun sa amount of discretion that you give them to decide when to admit stranded individuals home and how they can communicate it to all the other LGUs, particularly NCR, where majority of the LSIs are, no? Can you just describe to us how really difficult that might be for LGU leaders in general, the mayors and the governors, no? Yung discretion that they have to exercise in order to keep their localities COVID-free, but at the same time to welcome their own constituents home.
It's really difficult, and some of the governors really are very cautious and very strict about it because it's not easy to maintain a COVID-free province, and of course prevent their residents from coming back who are still working in NCR, which we know is the epicenter of COVID.
Yes.
So that's why in the Balik Probinsya program really intends to allow the LSI to return to the provinces, most especially those who are informal settlers, who have no way of having a livelihood with this situation.
Yes.
And the best way is to return to the province. Perhaps they have more chances of getting of feeding their family.
Right.
Dahil
Pero kung ayaw naman sa kanila, yun nga ang hirap eh. What if the LGU, and I know that some LGUs would rather not, at least not this time. So how do you make them come to a fair agreement on when to receive in other words, how do you implement this Balik Probinsya in a manner that will be win-win for both the returning resident and the LGU who's wary?
That's why there's a good suggestion by former Governor Sherry Antan, who's now the congressman, now presently the congressman. They had a proactive stance. Hindi na nila hihintayin, no? Hindi na nila hihintayin yung LSI. They already what the proposal was is for all governors to have they have to trace the LSIs, or they have to trace those who would want to return, and then provide them with vehicles, provide them with livelihood, provide them with the hotline where they could communicate with the family. Short of saying, in order for this to work, the governor should be more proactive. Hindi dapat para naghihintay. Kailangan ikaw ang nagre-reach out doon sa mga kababayan mo na gusto nang umuwi. At kung gusto makauwi, dapat nakahanda na rin yung mga governors. It should not be a mentality of wait and see. It should be a mentality of being proactive. Otherwise, hindi pwedeng yung, wag kayo pumasok dahil, no, you have to help the national government to locate these people who would want to return to your province. And I think Governor Sherry Antan's proposal is now being discussed in the IATF. And hopefully, the League of Provinces and the League of Cities should play more of an active role here. Hindi yung parang, let's keep it safe. There should be more of an proactive role on the part of the governors and the city mayors.
I get the impression sometimes that it's the LGU leaders themselves who actually are not buying into the Balik Probinsya program. They're actually resistant. Am I wrong?
Very few. Meron naman, but pag napapaliwanagan naman po, and I'm sure hindi naman nila pwedeng, botante nila yung mga yun eh. Hindi nila pwedeng tanggihan ng pabalik ang mga taong bayan at mga botante nila. So, they really have to entertain them and provide for them. Kasi karamihan sa mga yan naman, pagdating ng eleksyon, bumabalik sa probinsya at bumoboto doon minsan. Hindi pa bumoboto sa Metro Manila yan. Bumuwi sa mga probinsya yan at bumoboto. So, it's also something that the governors should look into. That's why in our policy right now, we are looking into helping the governors and the city mayors to play an active role. Tama yung proposal ni Congressman Sherry Antan that, ikaw nang mag-reach out. Huwag mong hintayin na sila pang pumunta dito at hindi ka handa. Before they come in, dapat may mga tao ka na sa NCR who are, taking care of them and ensuring that they are safe in coming back to the province. Hindi yung magugulat ka lang na nandiyan dahil kulang ang communication. Kaya kasi nagkukulang ng communication kasi minsan ang mga ibang local government mayors at governors natin are just wait and see attitude. Hindi dapat to ganon. You really have to care for your constituents and look after their welfare, even to the extent of extending more of assisting them in returning.
Okay.
Yusek, speaking of assisting, kumusta naman yung social amelioration? Kasi patapos na yung first tranche, di ba? Pero marami pa rin nanghihingi. Yung mga tao, kailangan pa rin hanggang ngayon. In fact, parang mas malaki pa nga yung pangangailangan ngayon eh. Ano yung nare-receive nila sa DILG from the local officials? Yung mga pangangailangan nila.
Based on the last record, according to DSWD, and upon conferring it with our records, it is so far 75 to 78, 76.3% already. Meron pa rin ganung error na may nasasama pa rin na hindi na ibibigay. Ito po yung mga namatay na siguro, ito yung mga hindi na nakatira doon, na nasa listahan pa rin ng DSWD. I cannot answer on what will happen on the savings. Perhaps DBM can better address that if they could still use the savings from those who have failed to receive it and probably convert it to be part of the second tranche. It would depend on the IATF and DBM's explanation.
Pero yun ang gusto ng mga local officials. Are they asking for a second tranche? Based on what their constituents are saying, marami bang nanghihingi ng second tranche?
Marami pa rin po nanghihingi ng second tranche kasi yun yung ipinangako na Remember, the list the list that DSWD has used is a census of 2015.
Yes.
Hindi yung updated. So, meaning, marami na dyan na namatay at marami na rin na pumasok sa barangay na hindi alam ng DSWD. So the best person to really decide who are deserving in the amelioration are the barangay officials to be verified by DSWD. So, yung inuna ho muna natin, tapusin yung first tranche. At ang ipinangako sa mga barangay, ilista nyo lang muna yung mga sa tingin nyo hindi nakalagay sa listahan at yun ang hihilingin natin na maisama sa second tranche. Tanong, na ibigay na ba lahat? I need to get back to you on that. No? Perhaps some are being given, but I still don't have the exact figures right now.
Pero sir, saan tayo ngayon sir? Kasi the last we heard nga, yung 5 million families na hinihingi na bagong listahan ng mga hindi nakasama doon sa 18 million. That was the last we heard eh. And then of course, Congress and the Senate were deliberating initially on the Bayanihan Part 2 na hindi natapos. So where does that leave us? In other words, sir, are we still going to have a second tranche with or without a Bayanihan Act Part 2? Based simply on Bayanihan Part 1 na meron pang 100 billion dapat for month 2.
Well, the clamor really is to give the second tranche. Dahil pangako ni. Napako dyan yung mga barangay officials.
Oo nga sir.
To pacify yung mga nagre-reklamo sa kanila, sinabihan na lang na wag ho kayo magreklamo, ililista naman ho namin kayo. Pauna ho na muna natin tapusin yung first tranche. At kayo na yung susunod. Nasabi na namin sa kanila yun eh. So, these people are expecting. So,
yes sir. Well, actually sir, what I mean is ano eh.
yung barangay.
Yes sir. Actually sir, what I mean is ano eh.
To answer your question, yes. There's
a need for Bayanihan Act Part 2.
For the second tranche to be given to,
Oh.
Well,
kasi
if that is the means to have the second tranche, by all means, yeah. Yes.
Well, I asked that sir kasi baka kailangan ng legal cover for the second tranche to be given out through Bayanihan Act Part 2 kasi yung Bayanihan Act Part 1 baka nag-expire na eh. Baka makusyon ng kawa, in other words eh.
Hindi pa I'm attending the hearings in the House and Senate. Hindi pa nila masyado pinag-uusapan yata yung second tranche no or yung Bayanihan Part 2 kasi karamihan ang dinidiscuss sa House are related to CEF funds, kung gagamitin yung CEF, yung school education fund, yung opening of classes. Mostly ganun eh. Saka yung kung gagamitin yung pondo nga, wala pa masyado doon. I'm also the legislative liaison of the department. So majority of the topics are mostly on education and whether they could use the CEF funds. No? At the same time, the proposal for internet access dahil mag-aaral na yung mga bata. At but the second tranche, we still need to wait for Congress to decide on the matter.
Do you think that it will pass muster yung Part 2, yung Part 2 nung nung Bayanihan to recover as one, yun ang pangalan eh, di ba? Kasi hindi na siya sinertify na urgent because no less than, I think that DOF has said na mahirap pondohan. What do you think are the chances nga na itutuloy pa rin nila yon?
Well, I agree with the Department of Finance. Kaya nga ho nasa GCQ na tayo eh, to at least allow the employees to work, no? The businesses to at least open. Hindi talaga kaya na sarado ang negosyo, sarado lahat dahil hindi naman talaga natin kayang pakainin lahat. We really need to allow them to work and feed for their families. Kaya nga naka-GCQ tayo. Pero yun nga, it's really a balancing act between protecting life and economy. let's cross the bridge once we get there. We'll see, no? We'll see how things will work out with the IATF on whether or not they will continue with the second tranche.
You said isa na lang, you mentioned education eh. Are you planning to ask or suggest to the local government officials na mag-initiate sila ng move nationwide to improve digital access for their constituents? Meron bang ganun? Kasi yung iba, it's very uneven eh. Merong mga mayor na magagaling sa ganyan, ginawa na nila eh. Are you planning to encourage others to do the same?
Actually, there's a bill proposed by Congressman Villafuerte to have a unified system of internet internet system all over the local governments. Kasi iba-iba nga eh. And I think it has passed the second reading already. That will be a good development in improving the capabilities of all local governments for internet, because now they see the need for internet, because otherwise the children who will be attending school this August will have difficulty, lalo na yung mga far-flung area barangays na walang internet. So paano naman sila papasok? So sila mapag-iiwanan. These are things that we need to address carefully, because right now malapit-lapit yung pasokan eh. And the LGUs are also looking into it.
Okay. Okay.
All right.
And local government undersecretary Jay Echeverry, maraming po salamat for joining
Thank you, sir.
Yes.
Thank you, sir.
Than't you very much, and mabuhay
Thank
po
you.
kayo lahat.
Okay.
Salamat po. Kayo rin.
Talagang mahirap din ang buhay ng mga local government, ano?
Ay, nako, mahirap maging government official ngayon. Yun na.
Kaya nga,
Actually, malaking question mark pa pala yung yung SAP Part 2 kasi
Oh, yeah.
ang naguguluhan ako kung ano talaga mangyayari sa SAP Part 2. And a lot of people are waiting for that eh. Kasi, di ba, they asked the LGUs to draw up another list of 5 million additional families.
yes.
No, wala nang pondo. Sinabi na ng Department of Finance. Talagang they will stand against it. So,
Pati nga yung
parang malabo. Yeah.
Pati nga yung stimulus package eh.
Yeah,
Yung,
yes.
paano naman, kung yung negosyo, wala, yan pa. Sabagay, baka idaan na lang nila doon sa 4-piece, no? Kasi yung 4-piece,
Oh, yes,
yun.
yun na lang.
Pwede ka mang
Pero yung 4-piece
Pero
kasi
yung
nakakatanggap
mawawalan ng
naman talaga sila
trabaho.
every month talaga nakakatanggap sila.
Saka yung mga wala ng trabaho,
Oo.
yan. Yun ang talagang makakawawa.
yun
Yung mga 4-piece nakatanggap na yun ng first tranche, nakakatanggap na yun every month eh.
Yeah.
bagong nangangailangan.
So-
Hindi naputol yun eh. Hindi.
Yung mga
So yung
bagong
kawawa yung naghahanap buhay talaga na umaasa dun sa kung anong kinikita niya day to day or week to week or month to month. At baka hindi pa nasama dun sa listahan na una, yung 18 million.
Oo, hindi pa nakakakuha, no? Okay. Ay, okay.
Sana he was talking kanina about yung mga locally stranded individuals. We could have asked about Michelle Silvertino, yung namatay sa Pasay City.
namatay sa Pasay.
Kasi parang she's one person who fell through the cracks eh. Na parang nobody was taking responsibility for her. Parang she's not mine. And the whole time na ang higpit-higpit ng mga LGUs, ito 5 araw nasa kalsada.
Pero sabi nila,
Parang may choice din siya. Ayaw raw niya bumalik sa amo niya. Ayaw rin daw niyang pumunta sa ospital. Ang dami rin niyang mga choices.
nawala siya,
Dawa.
Yeah. Pero yun din eh. But at the same time, they're not supposed to be on the streets. I mean,
Yeah.
were people allowed to have the choice during the
Saka yun,
quarantine?
dapat
Hindi eh.
beneficiary yun.
Hindi raw siya. Pero
Beneficiary
di ba,
ang dapat ng SAP.
dun sa report ni Justin, parang sinasabi na hindi raw siya laging nakikita eh. Di ba? Parang one day she appears, the next day wala na. Yung mga ganon.
Yun ang sabi ng barangay.
I guess we don't have the complete story.
Yeah, I know. But whatever the case is, she was out in the streets
Yes.
for 5 days eh. So baka hindi siya lagi nakikita kasi hindi siya nakikita, hindi siya hinahanap. But anyway, sige. we will leave it at that muna. Okay, that's our wrap for tonight. You can also catch One News on Signal Play app. Register for a free account now at www.signalplay.com and stream One News live anytime, anywhere. And that will be all for this special edition of The Cheese. We hope what to discuss here will keep the conversation going. I'm Edling Galpo News.
I'm Mami Pamintuan of the Philippine Star.
And I'm Lucy Cruz Valdez of News 5, and we are One News.